My next guest, a four-time Super Bowl champion, future Hall of Famer, host of the Dudes on Dudes with Gronk and Jules podcast. Edelman, nice enough to join us last week. I don't have any surprise guests for you, but we have from Fox NFL Sunday, Rob Gronkowski, and you have a guest.
Yes, Kay, how you doing? I got Ralphie here. He's usually a typical guest here on the show, but it's been a while, but I've been away from him for about 2 weeks. And I just got him back last night, so he's all over me, and he's not leaving my side right now. So wherever I'm going, he's right there. So he's probably going to be on the show the whole time.
I love it. We love that. You just heard, how much of that Devontae did you hear? A good
I didn't
bit?
hear much of it. I just heard about all the Taco Bell stuff and his outfits and all that good stuff, which I like it. I like that hoodied out outfit that he had with the sweats as well, you know, from head to toe. So he was looking good, and all his Taco Bell commercials. I love them. I love them.
There's drama, of course, going on. It's never a dull moment for Davante Adams. He gets there. He's been there for 35 days. A coach gets fired mid-trade. Now we have the GM is fired on Tuesday. They're leaving for a bye week. If you're like, what even happens here? What are your thoughts when you heard this is happening?
I mean, it's a show going on over there with the New York Jets right now, and it's a tough situation. I mean, I feel for all the guys over there. You never want to be in an organization that's just falling every single week, week in and week out, and there's just really no positives throughout the whole situation, and especially when expectations were just so high and they just been playing at such a low standard. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, they've tried to do everything, obviously starting off with firing Coach Robert Saleh, bringing in Davante Adams, bringing in all the other guys that Aaron Rodgers wanted as well. Now they're firing their GM. I mean, it's just a firestorm. It's rough. I don't really know much else to say because there's been so much said about it already.
Yeah.
But they're the laughingstock of the league right now is kind of the way to put it, which isn't good. I mean, we wanted to see the Jets compete this year. I wanted to see them compete. It would have been good for the NFL. It would have been good, you know, for the city of New York as well, because it's the biggest market in all of football. So it's a tough situation. Tough
situation. I was talking to Davante about it, and I was asking him, you know, have you thought about your future? How many times has this come up with Aaron in the past week, 2 weeks? Like, am I done here? Are we done here? So if you look at it, and you know, NFL players can compartmentalize more than anybody, but you're not in it week to week like Davante is. Let's talk about the future. Do you think Aaron's done?
Well, the future, if you're a player and you're on the team, I would try to keep it to a minimum because that would just become a distraction, obviously, at the moment as well. And how many more distractions can they take? And how much, you know, how much more of a beating can they take in this media? I mean, we all know New York media, you know, is rough as well. They're going to be on top of it weekly, and they're going to be on top of it daily. So whatever they're thinking in the future, I would say just keep it within themselves, and then just have kind of a game plan. But also, what's most important is if you want to be playing football next year, if you want to be in a good, you know, location, a good spot on a good team, wherever you want to be, whatever your plan is, you got to still go out there and perform. You got to go out there and show that you can compete and that you're ready to go and you're ready to play with the top of the with the top teams in the league and the top players in the league. So it's like you're kind of like in a tryout right now. The last 5-6 games, you got to go out there and you got to, you know, put up points and possibly win some games if you want you know, a good chance next year.
Aaron Rodgers wins out, comes off this bye, wins out, looks okay. Is he playing? Is he the Jets quarterback week 1?
Hold on. Are we going with, will they make the playoffs? What's their record right now?
They have a 1% chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah, they're not making the playoffs.
Right, but so you're saying you're almost saying it's an audition.
Yeah, it's an audition.
Aaron Rodgers is auditioning for the Jets or for other teams, both, and that, I don't know. Let's talk it out.
That's a tough situation because say, what if he doesn't even want to be on the Jets next year? So then he's not going to try and win every single game. You know, because then the Jets will be like, oh, wow, all right, we just saw that improvement. That's what we've been looking for the whole time. Well, Aaron, we want you on the team, but then he'll be like, wait a second, I don't want to be here. I want to be on another another team. But I'm telling you, you keep jumping ship. That's tough in the NFL to keep jumping ship and have the chemistry with players and the chemistry with an organization. And usually you got to build within the organization in order to build a good team, in order to build that, that camaraderie between everyone as well, So I would say he is auditioning for his NFL career, just not for the Jets.
If they win out, there's a 31% chance they make the playoffs. So it's looking very bleak. I guess I'm going to say, what happens with Aaron Rodgers? Guess. Like, what do you think happens?
Well, does he have another year on his contract?
It's very, very expensive, and they can certainly part ways with him.
All right. I feel like they're going to start over. I feel like the Jets are going to start over. They've already gotten rid of their head coach, GM. They got that quarterback I think they drafted as well, who's a pretty decent prospect, who's a rookie this year. So he's probably learning. They could possibly go with him. Travis, right, from Florida State?
Yeah, and then they've got Tyrod Taylor, who would probably then be the week 1 starter next year. And on and on we go, I guess, depending on, a GM could come in there and say, I like Aaron. Aaron gives us the best chance to win. Let's keep him. Or Aaron, they want to start over, and then I don't know where Aaron goes. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's something that I'm sure is weighing heavy on them as they try to make something happen and get some wins. If you could pick, not team even, if you could pick which coach in the NFL you think would work best with Aaron Rodgers, who's that coach?
Like a coach that is currently coaching, or just anyone out there? Just anyone.
Maybe anyone out there, wherever you want to take it.
Anyone out there. Ooh, man. I would say John Gruden. John Gruden would be a good choice.
So John Gruden potentially could come in and take over the Jets.
He brings that passion.
If you get this right.
He loves the game of football, just loves the energy that football brings, to the table. John Gruden loves a nice, solid quarterback. He definitely does, no doubt about it. And that would be the fit. I would like to see that happen. That's how Aaron Rodgers stays with the Jets. He has to have a GM and a head coach that comes in, you're right, with what you just said, that wants Aaron Rodgers as well. If they don't want Aaron Rodgers, then he's going to get departed. If they want to restart. So it all depends on who the head coach and GM is going to be next year. But if you get a guy like John Gruden, that would be pretty special to have him team up with Rodgers.
Would you want Aaron Rodgers? You're watching him play. You're seeing what this offense looks like. Devontae Adams saying, truly, ride or die. This is my guy. With the wins that aren't coming and the things that aren't happening, and the idea that we were going to get Peyton Manning, Broncos, we were going to get Tom Brady, Buccaneers. If you're a Gruden, do you want Aaron Rodgers? What do you think of Aaron Rodgers at this point right now?
Watching him play, he can still sling that ball. His release is ridiculous. I've been just mind blown over that, how he can just get the ball out so quickly over the last 10 years. It's just incredible. No one else has that, has that ability to do what he does with the ball in his hands. So I still think he has it. It's just that whole situation, New York, the New York media, the Jets just never being good as well over the last 10 years. I kind of feel like he needs to go into a situation where it's like a for sure go, meaning this team is ready to rock and roll in all situations. Like the Jets, they had a good team, they had good players, but they weren't truly ready to rock and roll. They don't know, they don't know how to win games. The organization doesn't know how to win. Obviously, it shows over the past decade. He needs to go somewhere like the Broncos were loaded up. The grenade launcher was ready to shoot when Peyton Manning got there, and that's why he was so successful, and they just needed that quarterback. Same with the Buccaneers, kind of. They just needed that quarterback, to take them to the next level. They had the wide receivers, the defense, and everything. But with the Jets, they just don't know how to win. So put him on a team that's ready to win. I think he'll be fine.
Rodgers on the Broncos right now. Super successful? Killing it?
Oh. I mean, that would be pretty cool to see, but that's not going to happen
yeah.
till next year. Bo Nix.
No, of course. I'm just saying. I'm trying.
But
I think people think that Aaron is cooked. I think there's a lot of people out there that think he's done. That we're going to see these games. We're not going to see him anymore. I'm hearing that a lot.
I think if you put the support around him, I think he can still go and he can still sling the ball. He just needs that. He needs that offensive line that can really keep him healthy and keep him untouched. I mean, maybe sacked there and there and knocked to the ground there and there. You're never going to keep the quarterback totally untouched. But he needs a true lineman that he can be in the pocket and truly know he can count on them. So he has that just sense of mind of just being free back there. And on top of it, he needs a true good core of wide receivers and a tight end and a running back. And then I think he'll be able to spread that ball around and do what he has to do. He can't carry the whole entire offense. I mean, he's not 30 years old.
Do you think he's carrying the whole offense?
No, not at all. No,
because the Jets have Garrett Wilson, and they've got Devontae Adams, and they've got Breece Hall.
Yeah, they do, but like they never won together. It's not been a team that has that chemistry of knowing how to win games. So
there's something off.
There's something off there. He needs to go where they know how to win games and know how to get it done.
Yeah, well said. We're going to take a short TV break here, but I want to ask you about Deion Sanders, and this is exactly why you guys should be watching the YouTube Live. Speaking of coaching, dude, everybody's trying to link Deion Sanders to every potential NFL head coaching job. How a season winning changes everything, right? He shuts it down yesterday, your boy Deion, and he says, "I'm happy where I am." Do you buy that, or can we see him in the NFL somewhere next year?
Well, I really appreciate that he said that, because it's all about winning right now at the University of Colorado. He has his kids there. He has Travis Hunter there. So if he said anything else, I would have been disappointed. I mean, he wants to go out there. He has a a chance of making the playoffs, which is kind of ridiculous. His second year in Division I football at the University of Colorado, literally one of the worst programs in history over the last 10 years. And then he takes them and he makes a name out of himself last year with the Colorado Buffaloes. And then this year they have only 2 losses, which is absurd. He should be coach of the year. So I'm proud of him for not, taking the bait of saying that he wants to go to the next level and coach in the NFL. It's about right now, and that's what he's all about. And he wants his players on his team. He owes them his full commitment, and that's what it's all about as a coach. Possibly after this season, I can see him definitely, taking those phone calls. I mean, why wouldn't he? But right now, I love how he's focused on just taking care of the Buffaloes.
I mean, Michael Irvin yesterday said that if the Cowboys draft Shador, Deion's going to Dallas. Are we in on that?
I like that. I mean, I am in on that. I mean, I would want to see that as well. I think that would be great for football. I'm a guy that loves to see entertainment, and that's entertainment right there. And there's guys out there, and Jerry Jones, he loves the entertainment factor as well, 100%. Especially, even with the Cowboys, loves the entertainment factor. I was there at the fight last week, and he does such a great job bringing that energy to the stadium, and it's just a great feel, and everyone loves it, and it's a great night for everybody. And it's the same type of feel for the Dallas Cowboys, which sometimes I think could be a distraction, bringing that, party, to the practices and the party to the pre-games. It can distract the player a little bit, but I think the only coach out there that can handle that is Deion Sanders, 100%. So I would love to see that fit. Everyone would love to see that happen, and besides non-Cowboys fans.
You were with Shaq in Vegas. Not Vegas, Dallas. I forgot.
Yeah, Dallas.
Nobody corrected me. I caught myself there. Yeah, you were in Dallas. You kind of cheated on our draft because, you literally were there with Shaq, and you picked him, but I'll allow it. What's going on? Are you two going to fight? Where are we in this thing?
I mean, it wasn't really cheating knowing that Shaq was going to be there when we picked who our celebrities were going to be that were going to be at the fight. So it's just inside information, and I won that bet. You're winning profit shots, so I finally won a bet. So I'm proud of this bet that I won, Kay. But Shaq and I, we were just chilling. We actually sat right next to each other, front row of the fight, which was really cool. I didn't even know. I knew Shaq was going to be there, but I didn't know that he was going to be directly next to me. And let me tell you, I understand what it's like when people sit next to me, because I was sitting next to Shaq and he took half of my seat. And then I was literally like this, sitting on my seat. I had about a quarter of it because Shaq was taking up the other half. So I understand.
It was amazing. It was amazing because to see somebody taller than you was just, it's like seeing a unicorn. It was wild to see. Such a fun fight. Great job by Sibley Scholes, who was interviewing you two. Love her. Thought it was such a good vibe. And that was amazing.